Hi friends, my name is Nandita. I am from Andhra Pradesh.
Good morning dear students. Today we are going to discuss about wonderful world of science from class 6 CBSE syllabus. Children, as human beings, we have always been curious about our surroundings. We start exploring our surroundings and ask questions right from our childhood. Did you enjoy discovering and exploring the world around you in the preparatory stage of school? As you enter the middle stage, we will continue this fascinating journey, trying to explore and understand the beautiful world we live in. And for that, we have a new subject, science. Children, let us welcome the wonderful world of science. Children, first let us discuss about what is science. Science is a systematic approach to understand the natural world through observation, experiment and analysis. It involves formulating hypotheses, conducting tests and drawing evidence based on conclusions to expand knowledge about phenomena around us. Science aims to discover facts, develop theories and apply this knowledge to solve problems and improve our lives. Children, the title, the father of science or father of modern science, is most common attribute to Galileo Galilei, an Italian astronomer, physicist, and philosopher who lived from 1564 to 1642. He earned this title for his significant contributions to the scientific revolution, particularly for campaigning the scientific method which emphasized experimentation, observation, and empirical evidence over philosophical speculation. Children, the title, the father of science, is often attributed to Aristotle, the ancient Greek philosopher and scientist. He made significant contributions to a wide range of fields, including biology, physics, and astronomy, laying foundational principles that influenced scientific thought for centuries. However, depending on the context, so many also consider Galileo Galilei or Isaac Newton as father of modern science due to their pioneering work in developing the scientific methods, physics, and astronomy. Science was introduced into the education system to promote rational thinking, curiosity, problem solving skills, and to prepare individuals for the scientific and industrial development of the society. Science is a way of thinking, observing, and doing things to understand the world we live in and to uncover the secrets of the universe. Think of it as a big adventure, as we ask questions, explore the world, and try to understand how things work. For this, the most important thing is to have curiosity, which is where the title of this book comes from. Yes, whether it is a study of tiny grains of sand or massive mountains, a leaf of grass or a vast forest, there is always something new and exciting to discover. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wonder why the stars shine? Or watch a flower blooming and how wonder it knows when to open? There are just a few of the many mysteries that science helps us to unravel. Children, the most wonderful thing about science is that it is everywhere, from the depth of the ocean to the vastness of outer space, from what is cooking in the kitchen to what is happening on the playground. Some of the most groundbreaking discoveries have often come from unexpected places. Just have a look. Children, have you ever looked up at the night sky and wonder what it out there beyond the stars? Yes, the universe is everything we can see and much more. It is the vast space that contains all the stars, planets, galaxies, and even the tiny particles that make up everything around us. The universe is incredible, huge, so big that it is almost impossible to imagine. It has billions of galaxies, each containing billions of stars. Our own planet Earth is a part of solar system which is inside a galaxy called the Milky Way. Children, the universe started about 13.8 billion years ago with an event called the Big Bang. Since then, it has been expanding and changing. Scientists study the universe using powerful telescopes and spacecraft to learn more about how it began, what it is made up of, and if there are other planets like Earth. Inside the universe, there are many fascinating objectives like stars, huge balls of glowing gases like our sun, and planets, large objects that orbit stars, and moons, smaller bodies that orbit planets, and asteroids and comets, rocky or icy bodies traveling through the space. Children, studying the universe help us understand where we come from and how our planet fit into the grand scheme of everything. It also fills us with wonder about the countless mysteries still waiting to discover. George Lemaitre, a Belgian Catholic priest, physicist, and astronomer, first proposed the concept of Big Bang theory in 1927, which suggested the universe began as a single dense point and has been expanding ever since. Children, the study of Earth's surface, its people, and their environment, including both physical, like mountains and rivers, and human aspects, like culture and society, are called geography. Children, now let us discuss the geographical features of the Earth. Have you ever looked up the sky and wonder where the Earth ends, or stood on the ground and thought about what lies deep beneath your feet? Well, the place where we live, play, eat, sleep, and grow is called Earth. Earth is the third planet from the Sun and our home. Unique has the only world in the universe to support life. It is our home planet and it is very special because it is only planet we know that supports life like plants, animals, and human beings. Children, let us discuss about the discovery of Earth. The discovery of Earth starts the Earth space. Ancient Greek scholars like Ptolemy in 100 to 170 AD concluded that Earth was a sphere, the sun-centered universe. Astrakus of Samos in 3rd century BC was the first to propose the earth revolved around the sun. Then modern heliocentric model. Nicholas Copernicus developed the first comprehensive mathematical model for the solar system, placing the sun at the center. In his work, the Revolution Bus Orbium Coelestistum, he introduced this in 1532. And the books for the revolution and rotation are available in the name of De Revolutionibus Orbium Coelestistum by Nicholas Copernicus. This book represented the heliocentric model which describes the earth as a planet orbiting the sun, not the center of the universe. The Theory of the Earth by James Hutton, a significant geological work published in 1785. This book discussed the earth formation and the history. Children, our Earth, our home planet, is the third planet from the Sun in solar system, a rocky, dynamic world with a unique environment that supports life. Already we discussed, is also known as the blue planet due to its vast oceans. The Earth's surface is about 71% of water, with land compressing the rest. The planet forming 4.5 billion years ago led to oceans and oxygen-rich atmosphere and the development of diverse ecosystems and complex life including humans. Children, now let us discuss the key characteristics of Earth. The position of the Earth is the third planet from the Sun. Already we discussed that, and approximately 93 billion miles away, a distance known as 1 astronomical unit. And the composition of the Earth is a rocky planet with a solid inner core and a liquid outer core surrounded by a mantle and crust. The surface of the Earth covered in oceans, continents, mountains, and forests. The atmosphere on the Earth is a protective layer of gases essential for life including oxygen. And the gravity of the Earth always pulls is 9.81, and the age of the Earth is 4.5 billion years ago. Children, have you ever looked at the earth and noticed how different some places look from other? Some places are high like mountains and some places flat like plains and other are surrounded by water like islands. These are natural shapes and features of the earth's surface are called landforms. Children, these landforms are discovered by William Morris Davis in 1850 to 1934. He is a geographer, geologist, and meteorologist. David founded the science of geomorphology, the study of landforms. His cycle of erosion theory proposed that landforms are shaped by physical forces like water, groundbreaking, but not entirely accurate concept that provided the first scientific paradigm of the field. Children, now let us discuss about landforms. The main landforms of the earth include mountains, plains, plateaus, and hills, which are large natural features of the earth's surface shaped by tectonic activity, volcanic activity, and erosion. The other landforms such as valley, desert, canyons, and basins also exist with differences in their shape, size, and composition. Children, now let us discuss in detail about types of landforms. First, let us discuss about mountains. Mountains are very high landforms that rise above the surrounding land. They often have steep slopes and pointed or rocked peaks. Mountains are landforms that are much higher than the surroundings of landscape. They can be recognized by a broad base, steep slopes, and a narrow summit. Depending on their height, some mountains are covered with snow at low altitudes. The snow melts every summer and turns into water that feeds as the river. Children, the water from the atmosphere reaches the ground in any form like rain, snow, and hail are the most common forms of precipitation. Children, let us discuss how these mountains are formed. They are usually formed when two tectonic plates push against each other, causing the land to arise. Children, now let us discuss the why mountains are important. The mountains are a source of rivers, minerals, and provide tourism and adventure sports. They also affect climate and weathers. Children, mountain environment and mountain slopes are often covered with a type of a forest called mountain forest, where conifer trees such as pines, fir, spruce, and deodar are common. These conifer trees grow tall and cone-shaped with thin pointed leaves. At higher altitudes, the trees give away the grass, mosses, and lichens. Let us see what is mountain forest. A type of forest that grow in mountain regions are called mountain forest. And what is moss? Moss, a small green plant without flowers or true roots, often spreading in a cushion-like covers are called moss. Lichen, a plant-like organisms that generally sealing to rocks, walls, or trees are called lichens. Children, deep forest, flowering rivers, lakes, grasslands, and caves in the mountains are homes to diverse fauna. For the instance, the golden eagle, the Peregrine falcon, and the Canadian lynx, the snow leopard, the ibex, the Himalayan thar, the mountain hare, the yak, and the grey fox, and the black bear. Children, the Ganga is the Indian name of the largest river originating in the Himalayas. In English, Ganges is also used. Nearly 2,500 kilometers along, this river has numerous tributaries. Some of them like Yamuna and the Ghagara also originated in the Himalayas. Others like Sun or Son originated from the Vindhya range of the south of the Ganga plain. Children, the life in the mountains are usually rugged and rough and has steep slopes. This means that regular farming can only be practiced in some valleys. Let us discuss what is a valley. A valley is a lower area between mountains or hill, often a river flowing through it. Children, let us see how the valley is formed. Valley is formed by a river erosion or glacier cutting through the land. The importance of valley have a fertile soil, water sources, and beautiful scenery. Children, Kashmir Valley and Great Rift Valley are the examples. Children, the cultivation is practiced on the slopes by cutting steps into slope, and this is called terrace farming. In many mountain regions of the world, herding is the preferred occupation of agriculture. Terrain, a piece of stretch of a land from the point of view of its physical future, like tourism, is often an important source of income for the people living in the mountains. The crisp mountain air and scenic beauty attracts many tourists. Some tourists also go to the mountains for sports such as skiing, hiking, and mountaineering and paragliding. For many centuries, people have also traveled to these uplands for pilgrimages to holy sites. But an excessive inflow of visitors can also put the fragile mountain environment under pressure. It is often difficult to find the right balance. Children, now let us discuss about another type of landform which is also called hills. A hill is a natural landform of earth's surface that is higher than the surroundings terrain but smaller and less steep than a mountain, typically with a rounded top and gentler slopes. The hills are evaluated areas of land that are lower and less steep than mountains. They are formed by erosion, glaciers, or the uplift of the land. Children, the importance of hills are often used for farming, terrace farming, growing tea, and building towns. Examples of hills are Nilagiri Hills in India and Aravali Hills in India. Banchindri Pal started climbing mountains from a young age and led many women's climbing expeditions. She was the first woman to climb Mount Everest in 1984 and was awarded Padma Shri at the same year. And Arunima Sinha lost a leg in an accident. She was 22. With Banchindri Pal's encouragement and training, she managed to climb Mount Everest in 2013 and went on to climb the highest peak of ever continent, including Mount Vinson in Antarctica. She was awarded Padma Shri in 2015. Let us discuss despite a few challenges that people living in the mountain may face. There are flash floods, means a sudden local fold often caused by cold burst, and landslide, the sudden collapse of mass of earth or rocks from the mountainside, and cold burst, a sudden violent rainstorm may occur. The sudden fall of snow, ice, rocks from mountain slides often occurs when the snow starts melting. Children, the life in the mountains has definite positives, forms pure air to the beautiful scenery. It also involves potential challenges, both natural and man-made, some of which are depicted in these pictures. Many traditional communities around the world consider mountains to be sacred places and worship them. Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world at 18,849 meters, has many names. Tibetan calls it Komalangma, which means Mother Goddess of the world, and worship the mountain as such. Nepalese calls it Sagarmatha, meaning Goddess of the sky. Similarly, Mountain Kailash in Tibet is held sacred by followers of Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism. Such reverence for mountain summits is also found where else in India as well as in other parts of the world. Children, now let us discuss about another type of landform which is called a plateau. A plateau is a landform that arises up from the surrounding land and has more or less flat surface. Some of its sides are often steep slopes like mountains. Plateaus can be young or old in terms of the earth history. Two examples of plateaus are the Tibetan Plateau, the largest and highest plateau in the world, and the Deccan Plateau. The highest of the plateau can vary from a few hundred meters to several thousand meters. The plateaus are formed by lava flows or uplift of land due to Earth's movement. And the importance of the plateaus are rich in minerals and are used for grazing and farming. The Tibetan plateau has an average altitude of 4,500 meters, which explains why it has been nicknamed the roof of the world from east to west. It is nearly 2,500 kilometers long, the distance from Chandigarh to Kanyakumari. The Deccan Plateau of the central and south India is the one of the oldest plateau in the world, formed through volcanic activity millions of years ago. Children, like mountains, plateaus are rich in minerals deposit. They have been called storehouses of minerals. As a result, mining is a major activity on plateaus, where many of the world's largest mines are found. For example, the East African plateau is famous for gold and diamond mining. In India, a huge rivers like iron, coal, and magnesium are found in the Chota Nagpur Plateau. The plateau environment is very diverse across the world. Many plateaus have a rock soil which makes them less fertile than plains and therefore the less favorable to farming. An exception is that of lava plateaus, as they often have a rich black soil. Plateaus are also homes to many spectacular waterfalls. Children, the Victoria Falls on the Zambia River is in South Africa, and the Handra Falls on the Sbarnaleka River in the Chota Nagpur Plateau and the Jog Falls on the Saravati River in the Western Ghats are few such waterfalls. These drop down 340 meters from the Chirapunji Plateau in Meghalaya. Children, now let us discuss another type of landform which is called plains. Plains are landforms that have an extensive, flat, or gentle undulating surface. They do not have any large hills or deep valleys. They are generally not more than 300 meters above sea level. The sea level means the average level of the surface of the oceans are called mean sea level. Floodplains are one type of plains formed by rivers originating in mountain ranges where they collected particles of rocks, sands, and silt called sediments. These sediments are carried all the way to the plains where the river deposits them, making the soil very fertile. As a result, these plains are ideal for growing crops of all kinds, and agriculture is a major economic occupation in this landform. Plains also support a variety of flora and fauna. These plains mostly formed, already we discussed that, by the deposition of sedimentations by rivers, wind, and glaciers. The plains are very fertile and good for agriculture and ideal for human settlement. Examples of plains are Gangetic Plain in India and Great Plains in USA. Children, let us discuss the life on the plains. The life in the plains thousands of years ago, the first civilization developed around rivers in the fertile plains. In our times too, a large part of the world's population lives in plains. About 40 crore people, more than one fourth of the total Indian population, live in India's Ganges plain. As with many other plains of the world, the major occupation of the people in this region includes river, fishing, and agriculture. Food crops such as rice, wheat, maize, barley, and millets are grown. Fiber crops such as cotton, jute, and hemp are also grown in Gangetic plains. Traditional agriculture has been mostly rain-fed. In recent decades, however, the agricultural has been turned into irrigation with water brought to the fields through networks of canals or pumped from groundwater. While irrigation has been increased agricultural production, it has also contributed to the depletion of groundwater. This presents a challenge for the future of agriculture in the region. Some of the other problems affecting the Ganga plains including high population and pollution. Whether in mountain ranges or plains, rivers around the world have carried immense cultural value. In particular, many communities have considered a river a source and its confluence with one or two other rivers to be scaled. In India, numerous festivals, ceremonies, and rituals are conducted at such locations. Because plains have a gentle slope, river navigation is easy and support a lot of economic activities. In earlier days, people also used rivers extensively to travel from one place to another place. Even today, there are stretches along Ganga where people prefer to use boats to move around. Children, now let us discuss about another type of landform which are called desert. A desert is a hot or cold arid region with less than 200 millimeters means 10 inches of annual rainfall characterized by scarce vegetation and extreme temperatures. Landforms are shaped by wind creating features like sand dunes, which are mounds of sand deposited by wind, and mushroom rocks, which are formed by sandblasting effects of wind and rock or eroding the base more than the top. Such landform is the desert. The desert are considered to be a large and dry expanses with a very little precipitation. The flora and fauna are also unique. Some deserts are hot like Sahara Desert in Africa, the Thar Desert in northwest of the Indian subcontinent. Others are cold like Gobi Desert in Asia. Some experts are also described that Antarctica continent as a desert. Despite harsh living conditions, humans have adapted to most of the deserts. In India, communities living in the Thar Desert or migrating through it hot rich cultural traditions such as folk songs, legends and related to the deserts. Children, these deserts are formed in areas where a little rainfall and high temperatures causes waters to evaporate quickly. Deserts can also have oases, minerals, and are home to special plants and animals can survive harsh climates. Children, now let us discuss another type of landform which is called islands. An island is a landmass that is surrounded by water. Island can vary in size from small patches of land to a large areas like Greenland. Some islands are formed by volcanic activity while other may be the result of rising sea levels or erosion. Children, these islands are a piece of land surrounded by water on all the sides. They formed from due to volcanic activity, coral deposits by breaking off from a large landmass. And the importance of landforms are for fishing, tourism and marine life. Examples of few landforms are Andaman Nicobar Islands and Sri Lanka Islands. Children, now let us discuss another type of landform which is called peninsulas. A peninsula is a piece of land that is almost entirely surrounded by water but remains connected to a large landmass on one side. It extends into a body of water and is described as almost an island, a meaning derived from its Latin origin. Penny means almost and insula means island. The largest peninsula in the world is the Arabian Peninsula. Children, these peninsulas are formed by natural formation due to erosion or shifting of land over the time. The importance of peninsula is having a long coastline which is good for ports, fishing and trade. Examples of peninsula are Indian Peninsula and Arabian Peninsula. Children, now let us discuss the life on the peninsula. The life in the Indian Peninsula is diverse, featuring various tropical forests and savannas that support a wide range of flora and fauna, including teak and salt trees and animals like tigers, elephants and snow leopards. In contrast, life in the Arabian Peninsula is dominated by a harsh desert environment with extreme temperatures, limited water, in sparse vegetation where people rarely on oases, underground water and seawater desalination for survival. Children, let us discuss another type of landform which is called deltas. The delta can be referred to a river delta, a triangular shaped landform created when a river deposited sediments as it flows into a larger body of water like a lake or ocean. refer to be Greek letter delta, which symbolizes difference or a change in various fields such as mathematics, finance, and genetics. A delta is a triangular shaped area at the mouth of a river where it meets the sea or ocean. It is created by the deposition of slits and sand by rivers as they slow down. Children, the importance of delta are very fertile and are great for growing crops like rice. Examples of deltas are Ganga Brahmaputra Delta in India and Bangladesh and Nile Delta in Egypt. Children, now let us discuss the another type of landform which is called canyons. The canyon is a deep, narrow valley with very steep slides typically formed by the erosive activity of a river over millions of years. Through some can be formed by other geographical process or occur underwater. The canyons are very deep, narrow valleys as we discussed with steep sides. They are created over the time by rivers cutting through rocks. The canyons are famous for tourism, geological study, and their beauty. Examples of canyons are Grand Canyon in USA. Children, now let us discuss about another type of landform which are observed on the earth. They are oceans. The oceans are vast, continuous bodies of salt water that cover approximately 71% of Earth's surface, containing 97% of the planet's water and supporting diverse life and crucial earth system. The signal global ocean is divided into 5 main regions. There are the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic and the Indian, the Southern and the Arctic Oceans. Oceans regulate climate by absorbing heat and moisture, play a central role in the water cycle, provide oxygen and are home to an incredible amount of diversity, much of which remains unexplored. However, they face significant threats from pollution, global warming or overfishing, necessitating urgent conservation of efforts. Children, now you can understand a science is like a gained and unending zigzag puzzle. Every new discovery we make adds another piece of that puzzle. And you know the best thing about this puzzle? There is no limit to how we can discover, since every new piece of the knowledge leads to more questions and more things to find out. Sometimes we find that a piece of this puzzle has been put in the wrong place and need to be moved. New discoveries often change our understanding of the world. As you go through the book, you will encounter interesting ideas, do some thoughts provoking experiments, and see how of what we will find out of it useful in our daily life. And guess what happens as we discover more and more? We start realizing that these ideas are all collected. We will start off by looking at our home planet Earth. It is only the planet where we that supports life, and it has an environment that we must protect. There is an amazing variety of life on the earth. Plants and animals that have managed to survive and thrive in different regions on this planet. In this book, we can also study the amazing variety of life on the earth is known as biodiversity, which encompasses the vast diversity of genes, species and ecosystem on the planet. It encompasses the vast diversity of species like plants, animals and microorganisms, the genetic differences among them and the diverse ecosystems like forests, oceans and deserts they inhabit. Children, you may have seen a seed grow into a plant and a caterpillar transforms into a beautiful butterfly and many more such observations. How do these plants and animals grow? Of course, to grow we need a food to eat, and especially in a large and diverse country like India, food is so fascinating. Across the country we have different cuisines with their many tasty dishes they are made of, and how do we find out? Children, first let us see how the seed grow into a plant. A seed grow into a plant through germination, a process that requires water, oxygen and suitable temperature. The seed absorbs water, swelling and causing the protective coat to split, and a root then grows downwards into the soil for support and absorb nutrients, while a shoot grows upwards to the sunlight. Initially, the seedling uses food stored within the seed, but as it develops leaves, it begins to produce its own food through the process called photosynthesis. The study of photosynthesis was significantly advanced by the work of Jane Ingenhousz, a Dutch-born British physician and scientist who published his findings in 1779. His experiments demonstrated that plants need sunlight to produce oxygen and release it, a process of vital collecting foul air that had been previously identified as a product of respiration. Children, now let us see how a caterpillar transforms into a butterfly. A caterpillar transforms into a butterfly through a process called metamorphosis, which has 4 stages like egg, larva, caterpillar, pupa, chrysalis and adult butterfly. The egg hatches into caterpillar that eats and grows, then forms a hard chrysalis where it can change into butterfly before emerging and fly away. Children, in 1705, Maria Sibylla Merian self-published Metamorphosis Insectum Surinamensium based on her explorations in Suriname. In the late 1600s, Merian was among the earliest to illustrate the process of metamorphosis. The book most associated with the study of metamorphosis, Kafka's in 1915 novella, The Metamorphosis, which tells the story of a salesman who transforms into a giant insect. Children, now let us discuss how do these animals grow. Yes, animals grow by using food because it provides essential nutrients and energy needed to build new cells, tissues and organs, a process supported by digestion and metabolism. Different types of food such as proteins, fats and carbohydrates fulfill distinct roles in cellular growth, movement and maintaining bodily functions. Children, there are many books covering the study of nutrients. However, some popular options including Nutrition Science by B. Srilakshmi, Nutritive Value of Indian Foods by C. Gopalan for Indian nutritional data, and the more general guides like Little Book of Nutrients by Marilyn Hoxton and Eat, Drink and Be Healthy by Harvard Medical School. These books provide the sufficient nutritional information for our bodily growth and development. Children, now let us discuss about the 29 Indian states with their famous food. Andhra Pradesh, famous food is Hyderabadi biryani. Then come to the Arunachal Pradesh. The famous food is appong and rice beer. Next come to the state Assam. Famous food is Assam laksa or paita. Then come to Bihar. The famous food is litti chokha. Then Chhattisgarh. The famous food is chana samosa. And Goa, the famous food is fish curry. Then come to Gujarat, the famous food is dolka kandvi. And Haryana, the famous food is bajra roti and khadi. Then come to Himachal Pradesh, the famous food is chagos or siddhu. Then Jharkhand, the famous food is mushroom or tuska. Then come to Karnataka, bisibele bath or Mysore pak. Then come to Kerala, that was appam or sadhya. Then come to Madhya Pradesh, the famous food is poka or puttika geese. Then Maharashtra, vada pav or pav bhaji. Then Manipur, come to the famous food is chako kheer. Then come to Meghalaya, the famous food is Meghalaya style rice. Then come to Mizoram, smoked pork. And Odisha, pakala rasgulla. Then come to Punjab, butter chicken and sarson ka saag. Then come to Rajasthan, dal bati churma. Then Sikkim, momos and thukpa. Then Tamil Nadu, dosha and idli. Telangana, again come to famous food is Hyderabadi biryani. Then Tripura, muyi borak means fish preparation. Uttar Pradesh, kebabs and pita. And Uttarakhand, aloki gutki or bal mitai. And West Bengal, fish curry and rasgulla. Jammu Kashmir, roshan gos or chawa. Children, along with the food, we need water to survive. Water is a rich, delightful substance. Have you ever jumped in a puddle when it rained? Do you ever wonder why and how it's rained? Have you noticed what freezes and becomes ice, and when we cool it and boils become steams when we heat it? Do you enjoy drinking cool water in summer or showering with warm water in the winter? How do you understand hot and cold? Whether it is a water or your own body when we have fever, finding out how hot something it can be important. Children, water is a transparent, tasteless, and colorless inorganic compound with the chemical formula of H2O consisting of one oxygen atom bounded with two hydrogen atoms. Children, let us discuss the sources of water. First one is surface water. The surface water found on the earth's surface, including rivers, streams, and ponds, containing dissolved impurities and are used for domestic and industrial purpose but require purification before drinking. Next one is lakes and reservoirs, used for irrigation and municipal water supply. Next one is oceans and seas water, the largest source of water but are saline and unfit for direct consumption. Next come to the groundwater. Groundwater held underground in the soil and porous rock formation called aquifers. Next, well water. Boreholes and open wells are used to assist underground water. Rainfalls collecting from the atmosphere, and it is a crucial part of the hydrological cycle supplying surface and groundwater. Next, the source of water from ice and snow. A significant source of fresh water, though not all is available for use. Children, let us discuss the uses of water. Domestic use, drinking and cooking, for consumption and food preparation. Hygiene and health comes, we use water for bathing, washing clothes and dishes, and general household cleaning. Next come to the uses of water in agricultural field. We use water in agricultural field like irrigation, used water for crops for food production, and pisciculture, cultivating fish and other aquatic animals. Come to water usage in industrial. Manufacturing water is used in factories for various purposes, then cooling, used in industrial process and power generating. Next come to the electricity generation. We can use water for electricity generation through hydroelectric power where the power of water is harshened. Children, the water cycle is a continuation process of water movement and transformation between Earth's surface, atmosphere, and back, while seasons are periods of the year with the distinct weather patterns. Children, now let us discuss what are the weather patterns. A weather is the daily atmospheric conditions including factors like temperature, air pressure, humidity, and precipitation. The key concepts include the difference between weather short term and a climate is a long term. The elements are variables that describe the weather, the instruments used to measure them, and how the sun energy influences the weather. Children, to understanding why seasons occurs means the earth axial tilt and orbit around the sun identifies the main four seasons like spring, summer, autumn, and winter and their characteristics, and learning about the specific seasons in India such as summer, winter, and the monsoon seasons and the retreating monsoon. Children, in mainly we have four seasons in India. Those are summer, winter, autumn, and spring. Let us discuss about the four seasons. Spring, a season of renewal marked by blooming flowers and new leaves. Summer, a hot sunny season with long days and short nights in the northern hemisphere. Come to the autumn, a season where leaves change color and falls from the tree. And winter season, a cold season with short days, long nights in northern hemisphere. Let us see seasons in India comes from which month to which month. Then India experiences its climate primarily through its monsoon system with major seasons. Already we discussed that. The cold weather season winter starts from December to end from February, and hot weather season summer March to May, and short west monsoon season rainy season June to September when moist winds bring rain to the country. Then retreating monsoon season autumn starts from October and ends to November, characterized by the monsoon winds moving back. Then again there are so many different things around us like the paper we write on and the metal key, the plastic ruler, and the rubber eraser in our box, the magnet that keeps the box closed, the clothes we wear, the cup we drink milk in, so many things they are made up of. Are they are different material? How do they separate different material from each other? Children, different things are made up of different materials. Here are some examples like water, molecules of hydrogen and oxygen. The chemical symbol is H2O. Air, gases like oxygen, nitrogen and carbon dioxide. Wood, cells made up of cellulose. Metal objects, atoms of metals like iron, copper and aluminium. Plastic toys, long chains of molecules called polymers. Rock, minerals like quartz, feldspar and mica. Sugar, molecules of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Salt made up of sodium chloride and atoms. Plants are made up of cells containing water, minerals and inorganic compounds, and animals are made up of cells which are formed by proteins, fats and water. Children, we will have an almost unending list of questions about everything on the earth as we further explore this book. But by limit of our questions to the earth alone, we can ask questions on things beyond the sun, the moon and the billions of stars that shine in the sky. Whether you are learning about the structure of a leaf, discovering how the things move, separating the skin of a peanut, we hope each chapter of the book will ignite your spirit of inquiry, and hopeful you will have lots of questions on your mind. Even though you may have not realized how you have already been finding answers to many of your questions. Suppose your pen stops writing, what would you do? Yourself, you would ask a question. Then, why did my pen stop writing? You might guess that the ink is finished. You would then test this guess by opening the pen and checking it the refill. If it is empty, you would know that your guess was correct. By suppose you found that the ink was not finished, now what would you do? You would make another guess. Perhaps the ink may have dried up. To test this guess, is it correct or not? You will try something else. This is exactly how the science works. The way you tried to find out why your pen stopped writing is an example of scientific method. Children, when we try to ask questions and find out answers, we are all in a way scientist method. Through we all apply the scientific method to some extent, learning science will develop our capabilities for finding solutions to bigger problems and solving more mysteries of the universe. And to be able to learn science well, the first and foremost thing is to be curious and observe your surroundings cleanly. Then, when we are curious, we start posing questions, ask how and why. Just remember, the world is full of things we do not know. The things are waiting to be explored. Yes, scientists are the people who follow the scientific method to solve problems or to discover new things. But anyway, who follows the scientific method is working like a scientist. Children, let us see what is the scientific method. Scientific method is a step-by-step process that scientists use to find the answers to questions and solve the problems. Examples: ask the questions. They start with something you want to know or understand. Then go to background research, which means they learn what others have already discovered about the topic. Then the third step is they form a hypothesis, means make a guess or prediction that can be tested. Then the fourth step, they will conduct an experiment. For test your hypothesis by doing an experiment carefully. Third one, observe and record the data. They will write down what you have seen happening during the experiment. Then fourth one is analyze the result. Look at your data to see if your hypothesis was correct. Then draw conclusion. Decide what your experiment taught you and answer your question. Share result. Then tell the others what you find out so everyone can learn. Example: someone cooking food may be wondering, while the dal has spilled out of the cooker, there was too much water. Yes, the reason behind it, the dal spills out of the cooker because when it cooks, it produces steam and starts to boil. If there is too much water or if the cooker is overfilled, the boiling water mixed up with the dal can bubble up and spill out through the vent or a lid. Also, the dal and water together create froth and or foam when boiling. If a foam arises too much and the pressure builds up inside, it can push the dal mixture out of the cooker. Other causes including overfilling the cooker or a worn out or a blocked rubber gasket or a blocked pressure valve. To prevent this, always follow the recommended water to dal ratio. Do not fill the cooker more than 2/3 full and add a spoon of oil or ghee to ensure the gasket and valve are clean and in good condition. Children, think a bicycle repair a person trying to find out why a tire is fat, from where did the air leak out. Yes, a tire loses air when there is a puncture from a sharp object, the valve stem is damaged or loose, the tire bed isn't sealed properly against the rim, or the rim itself is deformed. The other causes including cuts or damage to the tire sidewalls, corrosion on the wheel, and even vandalism. You can find a leak by checking the bubbles after spraying the tire with soapy water. On an electrician trying to find why a bulb is not working. Is there some problem with the bulb or the switch? To diagnose a non-working light, an electrician will first test the bulb in a non-working socket and then test the switch and socket for power using a voltage tester to determine if the issue is with the bulb, the switch, the socket, or a large issue like triple circuit breaker. Children, science is rarely a solo adventure. Around the world, scientists often work together in teams, sometimes large groups, sharpening ideas, experiments, and discoveries. This teamwork helps to solve different problems faster than leading to exciting new findings. So, if you ever get stuck or cannot find any answer on your own, don't hesitate to ask your friends, classmates, or teachers for help. Learning and discovering together is not only easier but also much more fun. It's important to remember that in grade 6 you won't find answers to every question you have, and that's completely normal. Science is a lifelong journey filled with continuous learning and curiosity. Over the next several years and beyond, you will explore many fascinating topics, performing interesting experiments, and gradually understand how the world and the universe around you work. For example, when you plant a seed and watch it grow, you are exploring biology. When you mix baking soda and vinegar and see fizzy reaction, you are discovering chemistry. And when you observe how the sun moves across the sky or how a ball falls to the ground, you are learning about the physics. These simple activities help you to build your understanding step by step. Think of science like children playing joyfully in the rain, full of excitement, wonder, and discovery. It's about observing, experimenting, asking questions, and being curious about everything you see. The more you explore, the more amazing secrets you will uncover about nature, the star, living things, and even yourself. So, you are ready to begin this incredible adventure, and get ready to open your mind, ask lot of questions, and enjoy every step of your journey through the fascinating world of science. Let's dive in and start exploring. Awesome. Children, here are some awesome fun activities and simple experiments you can try based on those examples to make learning science even more exciting. So let's do the first activity, plant a seed and watch it to grow. So for this, what do you need? You need a small pot, soil, seeds like beans, water and sunlight. Let's start the activity. Children, plant the seed in the soil and water it regularly. Observe the seed every day and note down any changes you see. Then record how long it takes to sprout and how the plant grows over the time. Children, what you have learned from this experiment, then you should conclude it. This helps you to understand how the plants grow and what they need to live, like sunlight, air and water. Children, now let us do another funny activity, which the topic called as baking soda and vinegar reaction. So for this, what do you need? Baking soda, vinegar, a small bowl or a glass. Now let's start the activity. Put a spoonful of baking soda in the bowl. Slowly pour vinegar over the baking soda and watch what happens. Observe the freezing and bubblings. Children, from this what you will learn? This is a chemical reaction that produces a gas called carbon dioxide. It shows how substance can change when mixed. Then children will do is another small activity, the name which calls observe the sun's movement. So for this you need a stick, chalk and a sunny day. Children, let's start doing this activity by place the stick vertically in the ground outside in the morning. Mark the tip of the stick's shadow with chalk. Repeat it every hour and mark the shadow's tip each time. Watch how the shadow changes position and length during the daytime. By this activity, this helps you to understand that how the earth rotates, causing the sun to appear to move across the sky. Next, children will do one more activity, that is called drop a ball and watch it fall. So for this you need a small ball or any round object. So let's start doing the activity by hold the ball at the height and drop it. Observe how fast it falls and what happens when it hits the ground. Try drops different objects and see if they fall differently. Yes, by this activity you can understand the gravity and how it pulls objects towards the earth. From the above lesson, we'll learn that books will get all information through the books, and these books are vital because they are rich source of knowledge, wisdom and entertainment, broadening perspectives, improving critical thinking and communication skills and fostering imagination and creativity. They also offer a source of stress relief, a way to develop empathy and emotional intelligence, and a method of learning new skills and information across diverse subjects. Children, books evolved with the scientists Sumerians and Egyptians creating written records on clay tablets and papyrus scrolls around 3000 to 2400 BC. Handwritten scrolls becoming common around 500 BC. The codex with bound pages together emerged as the dominant form in late antiquity, and the invention of the mechanical printing press by Johannes Gutenberg in 1450 revolutionized book production, making them widely available. Thank you.